National Developmental Coach James Green at the Olympic Training Center. Had some exciting news this week. Had your first EAP athlete show up and start training here at the Olympic Training Center, Qveli Quintanilla. So talk about this athlete. Obviously, he's been a placer at Fargo. He's been winning medals at USA Wrestling events his whole life. He made the decision to come out and join the team out here. What did you like about this athlete? Why do you think he'll have great success?
Well, he took it upon himself, to reach out to me, and that's what it's about. Where it first starts is your accountability and your willingness to go above and beyond, right, and try to be the best version that you can be of yourself and as an athlete. So I got the job, and even before I got here in Colorado Springs, I had an email from him about trying to get to camp and our senior camp and get here, get his feet on the ground in Colorado Springs and see what it was about. So obviously that was the initial part, and when he was at camp, I saw how he was as an athlete, and always asking questions, always trying to get better, and he worked hard in the room. As a younger athlete amongst some of our senior athletes or college guys, so that was always a good thing to see. And then, I went out to Fargo. Unfortunately he didn't win, but I saw that he kind of battled through an injury and was able to double All-American in both styles. So that right there just proves that he's ready to go through adversity and work hard and keep climbing the mountain to be the best that he could possibly be before he enters the college wrestling and hopefully senior wrestling, trying to get after world and Olympic medals.
Yeah, and he's a senior in high school, right? Will he be taking online classes, or is he set up with a school here in the Springs?
Yep, so thankfully, coming out of COVID year, a lot of high schools are willing to work with their athletes or their students, and he's going to be continuing to finish up his classes with his school online. And he's here full time, getting some training in. This week we had a few other athletes just coming, checking out the Olympic Training Center, see what we have to offer. He spent some time at Air Force, and he spent some time with Mason Walters, our lifting and strength and conditioning coach, and we actually got to talk with Nuwani, the nutritionist, here yesterday. So really utilizing every tool that we have here at the training center, and he's taking it all in as much as possible, because we have been throwing a lot at him this week, but he's handling it well.
So it's exciting, the EAP program. We've had great alumni coming out of there.
Yeah.
Henry Cejudo, Kyle Snyder, Aaron Brooks, left and right kids that have benefited not only their own careers but the U.S. program by spending time here. What are your thoughts about being able to get this thing rolling, because it was sidelined by the COVID situation?
It's exciting because just how you mentioned, those athletes that did come through here, they've all continued to have success, and I think that's a big contributor. The training center has contributed to that a lot, because they get to get here early, they get to spend and see time around the senior athletes, see what it takes to be a young professional athlete on and off the mat, right? You're rubbing shoulders with guys like Jordan Burroughs, David Taylor. Even when I was wrestling, I remember seeing Aaron in the room wrestling with us, right? And even going with bigger guys, or he's taking his beatings, but now he's right there wrestling with the best in the world. And I think with that, as a young athlete, if I'm on the outside looking in, that's something that I would want to pursue. And we're not trying to take away from anyone. I know a lot of clubs have been with these athletes for majority of their life, but we're just trying to help and get them to that next level, and also use the everything, the resources that we have here to our best ability, right? Sports science, nutrition, strength, and sometimes at these clubs or in your local town, you're not going to get that, right? And also too, it's just a different experience. You get that early college experience. You're coming out here, you have your own room, and right, you're still like Q. He's still taking classes, so you get to get that feel of waking up, working out. Then you're going and handling your school studies, and then you're right back in the wrestling room. So it's an opportunity I wish I would have took when I was growing up.
Yeah, now be working with him with a training system. You'll be working with him. He'll probably have some competitions this winter, right? Is part of that going to be helping him set a schedule for both training and competition?
Right. So, and we're actually going to be talking here today, kind of looking at his schedule and seeing the things that he feels he's ready for. And obviously, we'll talk and see what's best, because we want to set him up for the best future that he could have in this sport. So, sometimes you might have to dial it back on the competitions and just sit back and train and get as much knowledge as you can, and then you hit the competition scene. So we'll see. I have some things in mind, and I think that he's kind of willing to, take in anything that I throw at him. So once we get that figured out and the ball rolling, we'll start getting on the road and really get dialed in here.
Yeah, and he's had success in freestyle, Greco, and folk style. Right?
Yeah.
So this is a kid that's going to be able to soak in whatever he needs to from this training center situation, right?
And it's nice because, as you said, Greco's here too, and we get to roll around with those guys. And obviously they have a different style, but parterre is parterre, and some of the things that we can learn from them we'll use in folk style, and some things they can learn from us. So it's a good environment, and we have the women's wrestling here too, just to be able to pick some different minds and brains and learn about different techniques and just get better. So it's a fun time, and I'm excited.
Well, we look forward to announcing future top stars that are going to make their way here to Colorado Springs, and getting a good start with a guy we'll be calling Q, right?
Yeah. He's got a bright future, and I'm excited that he's here.
Excellent. Thanks, James.
Thank you.